I got into acting class to see what actors would do to hustle work. And I learned how to fucking hustle acting work. I started putting auditions on tape, and we got The Longest Yard and American Gangster and all these stupid fucking movies. But I didn't get those movies because, I don't know, I got them because I was working. And see, while everybody was talking shit about me, Joey Diaz is a coke fiend, Joey Diaz is this, Joey Diaz is that, that's what got to them more. That they couldn't figure out what I was doing. Well, I'll tell you what I was doing. I was working it. While I was sitting there listening to George Perez and thinking what he was putting into it, I still remember me, Josh Wolf, and Ralphie May chipping in for fucking, a lunch between the three of us, and maybe my envelope was lighter than the both of theirs. And us talking about what we were doing, and Josh was writing, and Ralphie May was at the Lab Factory, and I'm taking stupid acting classes. I would give my life to be back to that situation again. When you're a hustling fucking comic, when you're getting up at fucking 9, and your whole, I mean, listen, I used to get up at 9, I would never be at some coffee shop fucking giggling or hanging out with other comics or playing Frisbee or smoking dope. Or I did that, I could count on my hands how many times I did that shit. We worked, man. I got a call from a friend of mine the other day. He was telling me, hey, man, I didn't know you. Me, George Perez, Silent Bob, Felipe Esparza, Rick Ramos, we used to have our own acting class. We all went to acting classes. We saw what the fuck they did in acting class, and we could do the same thing. So every Tuesday for about a year, we would meet on Tuesdays, do a pseudo-acting class outside at a fucking park, and then go get super fucking stoned and buy edibles. But you understand, we put in the fucking work. Felipe, Willie Barcena, Rudy Moreno. I mean, these guys... Marilyn Martinez, God rest her soul, her anniversary was last week. These fucking people were out, not every night, every minute. I still remember, I stopped going to weddings and functions and bars and shit because, honestly, I didn't want to talk about your stupidity. All I wanted to talk about was comedy and how to get better. That's all I had on my fucking mind. There was no... When Mike would come up to me, do you know what me and Mikey did this weekend? I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Kids are the last thing in my mind, and I don't want to hear about fucking kids. And I lost a lot of friends from not doing certain functions and going to weddings and going to sporting events and stupid parties and bachelor parties. But in retrospect, I didn't give a fuck because I didn't move out there to do all that shit. I moved out there to work on my craft. And my point being, the reason why George Perez improved so much, and guys, this runs across the board. I'm talking about comedy, but this runs if you're a plumber, a guitar player, a writer, a fucking movie editor, the whole thing. You know how many fucking people would call me and say different things to me? And I would always ask them the same thing. What did you do last week? And all these people that used to call me, like how I stopped from them calling me, how I stopped getting these people to call me, I didn't fucking ever yell at them and go, get the fucking work. I would say to them, what'd you do last week? Well, my sister had a birthday party in Laguna Beach, and I went down there for 3 days. When you were down in Laguna Beach, did you do any sets? Did you think of going to that contest? No, we were partying and having a good time. All right. What'd you do Thursday when you came back? Oh, fucking Johnny had a fucking barbecue combination party at his backyard. We did comedy. Okay, what'd you do Friday? Oh, I went to a movie with my girlfriend. What'd you do Saturday night? Saturday I had a show and fucking an AA meeting. Okay, listen, so what you're telling me is you got on stage 2 times. You live in Hollywood. You live in L.A. And you're telling me you got on stage 2 fucking times. Well, you know how many times I got on stage last week? And granted, I'm a fat fuck. I'm 360 pounds. I'm snorting coke. I'm broke. I got on stage 22 times last week. What do you mean? But see, you know people. You're friends with Rogan. Don't put Rogan into the fucking equation. Monday, I started a Latino night. Then I went over and did an open mic at the fucking Comedy Store. And then from there, I got in my car and I met George Perez down in fucking a bar we used to do on Monday nights that the open mic started at 11. We wouldn't get home till 2 in the fucking morning. There was a Chinese restaurant that wouldn't serve us because we weren't Chinese gangsters. There was a donut place. I mean, dog, we would eat chicken wings from this bar that when you would bite into them, you could see the veins and the... Oh, my God, you have no fucking idea what we put up with. And then we got home at 8, and I got up in the mornings, and I looked at breakdowns. And then from there, I fucking smoked pot, and I did this, and I put auditions on tape. And then we went to the Tuesday night was a fucking, was African-American night, the Comedy Store. You go down there, hustle to get a spot. What I'm trying to say is, whether you're a plumber, whatever the fuck you do, if you're going to grow doing something, you have to live it, chew it, sniff it, fart it, fuck it, suck it. You got to do everything to this fucking thing. If not, listen, it might work out for you. But believe me, between you and me, it's not going to. How do I know? Because of what's going on with my life right now. When I go on stage, yeah, I'm funny, I'm writing, I got new jokes, but it's not the Joey Diaz that was going on stage 2 nights a fucking night, 2 times a night, 3-4 years ago. It's not the Joey Diaz that was doing a comedy podcast, constantly surrounding himself with, America's best comics, and your mind is always thinking. I don't have that mind no more. I've been saying it for weeks. Yeah, I crack funny jokes when I'm driving around. I giggle when I get high and shit like that. But to have that fucking machine gun mind that constantly, you got to work that thing every day. It's a fucking muscle like anything else. So if you're a fucking lawyer and you're just doing the bare minimum, and then 5 years from now, you're like, how come nobody makes me a partner? Well, the guy in the other room works for, he fucking has a cotton here. And on the weekends, he goes to conferences and he learns about the new fucking medical marijuana laws or whatever the fuck.